game number 2. Utah Tech, meanwhile, this is their 4th game already on the year. They lost one at number 13, Arizona, just a couple of nights ago. Utah Tech in the navy blue, Arizona State in their golds. We welcome you inside DFA. Happy Sunday wherever you may be, and we're underway from Tempe with an early turnover on the game's opening possession. You know, defensive intensity, Jeff, it was something that Arizona State really tried to focus on in the offseason. Of course, you never know until you get out there in a real game situation. Returns were up and down about how you'd expect against Southern Utah.
Definitely. A lot of practice against each other. The first real game against another opponent. Going to have some jitters like we had talked about. But, you know, they want to have some stuff to improve on. And defensively, they're definitely going to show that today. Definitely need to look to see Masamba Diop improvements on the defensive end. Say he does a lot on offense, but he's so tall, so long that he could be out there just affecting every single shot during the game.
You mentioned Diop. How about the sharpshooter and really the consummate point guard in Mo Odom? He's got the ball here on the near side wing. Odom, double team, gives off a 3 for Gerbovich off the mark, and the long rebound falls to Chance Trujillo. You know, Trujillo's just at 6'4", but he's been a rebounding fiend in the early going for Utah Tech, averaging 7 per game over the first 3 this year.
Love to see your point guard. Not love it, but it's great to see your point guard as your leading rebounder.
He did not have a single board against U of A couple of nights ago, but obviously Arizona's up-tempo offense, he wasn't crashing, he was trying to get back. That's the reason for no rebounds against the Wildcats. There's Ethan Potter, the leading scorer for Utah Tech in the early going, missing an early turnaround too. So the Trailblazers out of the WAC, much like Southern Utah was the other night. Arizona State opening their year with a couple of WAC opponents. Here's Diop on a step-back 3. Watch out, young fella. My goodness.
Jeez.
That's 7'1", a 7'4" wingspan on a Harden-like step back.
My goodness, we just went back to a time portal, man. I thought it was back out there watching Harden do the same thing.
You're watching a unicorn is what you're watching, Jeff. Battle for the loose ball rebound, and the Sun Devils swarming in the early going. Here comes Odom on the break. You see the upside to the freshman. A kick out to the wing. Bryce Ford, no good that time. You got this building buzzing.
No, man, everybody's off their seats still. I know we're waiting for the other team to score, but, man, that's an electric start to this game.
You're going to see that on highlights all around social media. There was a buzz about Masamba Diop after the Southern Utah game. He's just added to his highlight reel. Here's Trujillo. 10 to shoot for the Trailblazers. He'll pull up a tough 3. A little heavy, and it's Odom with a rebound. One of the better point guards in all of college basketball last year at Pepperdine. A solid transfer. Couldn't quite hit the long 2 there. Another board for Trujillo.
There we go. Activity on the defensive end on the glass for Trujillo.
Noah Belonga, lanky wing out of France, 6'8" sophomore. That's Potter. Belonga, off to Trujillo, pump fake into a mid-range J, and that's silky for Chance Trujillo.
Man, great way to just attack the closeout. Sun Devils got to take away that middle, though. I know that's not something Bobby Hurley wants to see, is a middle attacks off of a closeout.
Expect number 2 in Navy to play a lot. He played all 45 minutes in the season opener, an overtime win against South Dakota, so he can go with the best of them. Here's Bryce Ford, corner pocket. It's automatic.
Great find. Great ball movement by the Sun Devils right there to find the open shooter in the corner.
Ford went 3 of 5 from downtown against Southern Utah on Tuesday. He's got his first hit early on in this one. Sun Devils never trailed against Southern Utah. They haven't trailed so far in this game either, as Jusan Holtz knocks down a 3, tit for tat.
Yeah, that's something that, even though Bryce Ford was there to contest, you're probably going to want him to put the ball on the floor, get him off that line. That, as a shooter, on defense, that's the last thing you want to see is a guy get an open shot, start getting a rhythm and a flow for the game.
Andrea Gerbovich off to Odom and right back. Big fella out of Montenegro, lost it midair, was looking for a whistle, no call, and Utah Tech will slowly walk the ball up the floor. Jeff, we were talking about this in the pregame. Utah Tech, expect them to try to slow the pace.
Definitely. They had a tough game the other night at U of A. They're going to definitely want to slow it down and make every possession count this game.
How about the high-flying start for Arizona State? And again, the 7-footer Masamba Diop. Look at this play.
No, just the patience, the skill level to be able to just one dribble behind, step back, to knock down the 3. Usually you get players, you get too excited, you get a move like that, and they don't finish. Diop did a great job.
And then the more conventional 6'4" Bryce Ford knocking down the 3.
The Sun Devils just doing a great job sharing the ball early in the game.
Early substitution for Bobby Hurley and the Sun Devils. Pig Johnson, number 2, who we talked about in the open. He's in there. He can fill it up in a big way. 17 in the season opener. Johnson will feed to the post as well for another great addition from the portal. Alan Mukeba with grown man strength down low.
That was just a little too easy. First bump, he almost got offensive foul. It got a little light in the pocket, but great patience, good finish.
6'8" grad student. He would be a great tight end if he played football.
Tight end, maybe even a middle linebacker.
No doubt. Here's Bolonga. Down low, behind the defense. Tanner Davis puts it up and in.
And that's something we had talked about earlier, is the off-ball cutting and movement by Utah Tech. And that was just an example right there. Lost their defender, got an easy layup underneath the basket.
Just like a good relationship, communication is key.
Oh,
Sun Devils defensively.
Definitely.
Here's Ford. Already with a tray so far in this game. Gets to the mid-range. No good for 14. Jop with the tip. They'll have another attempt at it with 4 Navy jerseys around him. It did not matter.
No, it does not. When you're 7'1" and everybody else standing around you is at your shoulders, and just go up there and get the ball and finish strong.
5 early points from Asamba Jop. He's got a couple of rebounds as well, and there's a turnover that will take us to an early timeout. I'll tell you what, number 35 in gold, he's a unicorn. He can do it all for Arizona State. The freshman showing out in the early going for the Sun Devils. You see a step back 3. You see some effort, grit and grind down low. Jop and the Devils, they're out in front early against Utah Tech. Fans still settling in here at Desert Financial Arena, where Arizona State's on top by 3 over Utah Tech. We welcome you courtside here at Desert Financial Arena. The broadcast table for the first time. Brayton Bell, Jeff Ayers, and Jeff, you know, with so many new faces for Arizona State, some question marks maybe about the style of play for ASU, but through a game, it's clearly an unselfish group. And Bobby Hurley talked about that in the open. It's allowing him to coach with a free mind.
Definitely. That's one thing he doesn't have to worry about, is coaching effort and high IQ plays. That makes his job as a head coach so much easier.
17 assists in that first game for Arizona State. Something else he commented on was just knowing he could make substitutions without having to worry about repercussions. There are no big egos really on this team, and that's got to be a relief for a head coach.
Oh, of course. And being able to have not that big of a drop-off from your starting 5 to your bench. As a head coach, if you can have your bench in the game and then actually build and level up from what the starters did, that's the perfect situation.
35 bench points for Arizona State in that season-opening win against Southern Utah. And the leading scorer on the team was Pig Johnson. Of course, he came off the bench. He had 17 in just 22 minutes.
He's so efficient. So efficient. He's been to the start of this season on both ends of the floor.
Here he is with the basketball in his hands out of the timeout. ASU started 4 of 10 from the floor. Utah Tech actually shooting better thus far, despite taking fewer shots, 43% from the Trailblazers. Here's Mukeba, double teamed, short corner. Gets it out to Pick Johnson. He'll slash inside. Athletic attempt, but a blocked shot by Holtz. Here come the Trailblazers back on the other end. Here's Ethan Potter to the basket. And he's fouled that time by Marcus Adams Jr., who just entered for the first time.
That's some great effort on both ends of the floor. I love how Utah Tech getting out in transition and not letting the height of the Sun Devils settle on defense and being aggressive and attacking the rim.
Potter, a 6'8" senior out of Layton, Utah, had 15, leading scorer for Utah Tech against Arizona a couple of nights ago. But, you know, when you ask his head coach, John Judkins, about him, he says his IQ is unreal. He's so fun to coach. A transfer that came in from an inter-conference rival in Utah Valley, and he's really settled into Utah Tech well.
That's a great sign of a high-level player. You can change teams, have different coaching styles, but you can still be successful no matter where you're at. The well-deserved praise from head coach, Coach Judkins.
He's at nearly 18 per game to start the year. Misses second free throw, and here comes ASU. No doubt he's probably the top of the scouting report in the early going for Arizona State playing the Trailblazers today. There's Johnson. Off to Odom. Trevor Best also just entered for ASU. Nice pass down low, and it's Mukeba's strength.
That was excellent execution on the offensive end. The ball got to 2-3 sides, made the defense have to shift, and ended up a little mishap on the communication with the pick and roll, led to an easy finish by Allen.
6 of the 12 points for ASU in the painted area thus far. There's Potter, and it's a charge. Nice job stepping in front. Again, Trevor Best had the dish down low offensively, steps in front, takes the charge on the other end.
And you love seeing your guards or anybody on your team putting their body on the line on defensive end. That's a turnover for Utah Tech, and then there's a great momentum shift for the Sun Devils.
Again, that unselfishness that we alluded to out of the break. Those are the things for a guard coming in off the bench, sacrificing the body. It stands out.
Yeah, definitely. Not going to complain about shots or attempts. He's just going to go out there and do whatever he can to help the Sun Devils win.
Mukeba, rack attack again. Missed it short that time. Had to battle through a bit of contact. And here comes Jushan Holtz. Wild pass stolen by Johnson. Baseball ahead to Mukeba. Give back to Best, but he lost it. Man, the ball movement was popping. Maybe a bit too much on that break.
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes you can be a little too unselfish, but man, they were ready to explode here at Desert Financial Arena.
There's just overall athleticism around this roster. It's not going to be the biggest team, maybe the not most talented, I should say, in the Big 12, but very athletic, obviously unselfish as well.
Definitely. You know they're going to have a sense of scrappiness to them with being under the helm of Coach Hurley.
Here's Potter. Nice deflection by Pick Johnson. 11 to shoot for Utah Tech. See Toby Aribi for the first time in there for the Trailblazers. He'll get Potter. Aribi, senior out of Nigeria. Spent 3 years at Washington, transferring over to Utah Tech. .6'8" Belonga. Up into the corner. Owana to Belonga. 3 to shoot. Deep 3 over Mukeba. And he knocked it down. Noah Belonga just 23% from downtown to start the year. That's a tough poll.
Definitely, but that's not something to overreact to. End of the shot clock, desperation 3. Just want to make sure you keep your hands up to contest it a little better, but those are the type of shots you live with.
Utah Tech has it back to within 1. They battled hard against Arizona the other night. Final score didn't show that fight. They were only down by 7 at halftime against U of A. 5 to shoot. Johnson inside. No. Gerbovich battling on the glass, and it will stay with Arizona State.
You see, he's just sizing up Allen, hand down. And you gotta have some awareness on the defensive end, knowing the shot clock is counting down, and just put a little more contest on there. It doesn't matter how far it is. Kids these days shoot threes from anywhere, and you gotta be ready.
Oh, Steph Curry range.
It's changed the game, Mr. Curry.
Jop back in there, along with Santiago Truitt for ASU. Johnson splits the double team, gets inside. Acrobatic give off to Truitt, and he's hacked. And Santiago Truitt will head to the free throw line. Another really unselfish play by Johnson.
And he had options. He had Masamba Job there to run the roll as well. So just being aggressive, attacking the paint, getting paint touches, left Pitt Johnson with 3 options, and he ended up getting his teammate on the free throw line.
The Truitt at the line for Arizona State. We talked about this the other night, Jeff, but ASU did a great job of getting to the line against Southern Utah. They took 12 more free throws, went 14 of 20 as a team in that season opening win. That was their first free throw of the game that Truitt knocked down.
I know it's going to be an emphasis, I believe, for Coach Hurley is to keep the guys being aggressive, getting into the free throw line, put the other team in foul trouble. They don't have the numbers. That's going to be, I think, another strategy that they can execute.
Also just the physicality of playing another Big 12 team just 48 hours ago, trying to wear down Utah Tech as this one goes on.
Yeah, no matter what game it is, it's going to be like a heavyweight round fight, man. You're going to have to be ready, prepared to go 12 rounds.
Britton Barrett into the game for the Trailblazers. A little bit of pressure shadowing the Trailblazers as they bring it up the floor. Here's Trujillo. Out of the wing for Holtz. Best was inside of his jersey, essentially, called for the foul, and it takes us to a timeout on the floor. Second team foul on Arizona State, settling in about midway through the opening half from Tempe. It's the Devils by 3.
Everyone needs a checking account.
Arizona State on top of Utah Tech, 14-11, just under 12 minutes to go first half. Braden Bell, Jeff Ayers, thanks for spending some of your Sunday with us, wherever you may be. And for Utah Tech, they've had stability on the sideline for over 2 decades. There's Jon Judkins right there on your screen. 21st year as the head coach of Utah Tech. And Jeff, his story is so much fun. He showed up in 05-06 when Utah Tech was still a JUCO at the time. Then to a D2 program for 14 years. They've been D1 now since 2020, but quite the rise for Coach Judkins and this Utah Tech program.
That is so impressive, especially this day and age, like this type of tenure, 20+ years at one institution. That's incredible. And then to carry them, bring them up from JUCO level to the D1, that's such an amazing story.
You know, he was joking with us in our talk with him yesterday before this game that almost feels like a JUCO level again because the carryover year to year because of the transfer portal. There's a 3 knocked down by Jushad Holt. That's his second 3, and Utah Tech's tied this game up at 14. Trailblazers 3 of 5 from downtown to start it. Gerbovich will try to answer no. Nice blocking out there for Utah Tech. Owana, and it's Job to clear. Sun Devils haven't hit a field goal in nearly 3 minutes time. They've been unselfish, but maybe even a little bit too unselfish. Job. No look find to the corner. Gerbovich will let it rain again, and he's really struggled to start this ball game. He's now 0 of 4 from the floor, but Truitt's doing the dirty work.
Love that multiple effort by Truitt. Get the extra possession for his team. They're not hitting shots. You ain't got to still get a layup for him.
Grit and grind, right?
Got to. Put nose to the stone.
That's how you made a living.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Here's Trujillo. Kick out, Britton Barrett. Rare miss for Utah Tech from downtown. Big Johnson. Cross. Truitt, the transfer from San Diego. Backing down on Trujillo, spinning baseline side, kick out to Job. He'll try another 3. He's 2 for 2.
Just the confidence he has stepping into the shot. I don't need to cut to the basket. I'm gonna open up for my teammates, man, and hit this 3 again.
And there are smiles all over the bench in Arizona State sideline right now. What can't this guy do? Didn't show us the 3-point shot at all in the season opening win, where he really shined out all over the floor. He's showing there are more tools in that toolbox. Here's Johnson. He's fouled hard, and the athleticism of Pick Johnson will get him to the free throw line.
And then Job running the floor like he just did, got Pick Johnson that attempt at the rim. But no, look, Job just instead of cutting, stepped right into the 3, little jab step, get the hand down. As soon as he stepped off, knocked it down with confidence.
And you know that wasn't in the scouting report. Toby Uribe, you can't really blame him for taking a step back, but I think that's going to be an adjustment for the Trailblazers moving forward.
Yeah, they're definitely going to talk about it in the next time out. Better create some space. I know he's 7-1, but at least get close enough so he feels your presence.
And that's where his ability to dribble as well. We've seen him put the ball on the floor a couple times early on. That's where it becomes so much more difficult to defend him, because if you step out, he's got those long strides. It makes it really tough to defend.
Yeah, I'm talking, we can go pump fake, one dribble from the three-point line, and he's on the rim. That's really difficult to guard.
You hear the term unicorn thrown around way too much around basketball nowadays, but with what Diop has been able to do just in a game and nearly a half of his college career, he's got a lot of potential, man.
Definitely, especially as a freshman. Wow. A lot of upside for this young man.
Played the majority of his life in Spain, some in the developmental system of Real Madrid, originally from Senegal. Samba Diop. So Wana sat on the rim a bit too long. Aribi will battle for the board. Diop was in there grinding, but the Trailblazers come away with it. Nearly picked off by Ford. Barrett will hoist. Missed everything. Here comes Odom. Adams Jr. running the floor. The layup is good, and there's the transition offense. Cashed in by Marcus Adams Jr.
That was impressive. The ball didn't even touch the floor. Just quick run out. Love that.
The vision by Mo Odom, the senior point guard from the Bronx. Biggest lead for ASU in the early going. Bolonga will look to answer. Arcing three won't go. Utah Tech hasn't scored for over 2.5 minutes. 8 straight points for ASU, but an offensive foul will go against Diop.
That's so tough. Like, it's both players' fault. The guard, you got to settle down a little bit so your big can get his feet set. And then big fella, you got to recognize you don't have your feet set, man. Maybe set a go screen, you know, just a touch screen and get out the way. You don't want to pick up cheap fouls early in the game when he's playing so well.
You said that is unfortunate for ASU to have him pick up a foul. It'll be Alan Mukeba back in there for ASU. Ethan Potter. Owana with plenty of airspace. Couldn't connect, but a nice follow and tip by Tanner Davis.
Just a mixed box out. Kind of took a step off the gas on the defensive end a little bit, led to an offensive rebound.
Davis has been a really good addition to this Trailblazer squad, a freshman from Smithfield, Utah, but he's an older freshman. Spent about a year on a LDS mission out of high school. Mukeba puts his head down, kisses it off window.
Just the skill level of the Arizona State big man is so impressive. You would think there'd be a drop-off from your 7'1" unicorn going to your 6'8" four-man, but absolutely not.
He's like a bulldozer when he gets inside the lane.
And he also, on the defensive end, he leads the team in blocks.
Had 4 of them against Southern Utah the other night. Late in the shot clock here for Bolonga. 5 to shoot. Mukeba tipped it free. Good defense for ASU. Results in a corner 3 for Davis. No. Rebound to Odom. And the Devils looking to run and gun. Odom kicks back. Corner. Ford bobbled it momentarily. Or else he probably would have been hoisting. And the energy just off the charts right now for ASU.
That's what you want to see. It doesn't matter the opponents you play. You want to bring that energy and effort every game.
Ford, wing triple. Just rimmed out. Next whistle will take us to a timeout. Arizona State leading by 8. Utah Tech, they started off shooting the ball well. They're just 1 of their last 9 from the floor. The length for ASU playing a factor.
As well as their intensity. They're on the ball. They're in the passing lanes. They're in the driving lanes. They're not just standing around full denying their man and letting everybody go to work.
Timeout on the floor as a blocking foul was called against Mukeba on one end, but man, he is as strong as an ox on the other. Big time take to the rack. It's ASU by 8. NFL, Jeff Ayers welcoming you back to Tempe. Sun Devils on top of Utah Tech, 24-16. They're trying to get to 2-0 for the second straight year. And Jeff, so far, it's just been all-around effort for this Sun Devil team that's really been shown out in your eyes.
Definitely. That's something you want to see. You're going to want to work on X's and O's and get some play development and chemistry on that end, but what you want to have is effort and intensity the whole game, and the Sun Devils are definitely bringing that in spades so far in this first half.
Defense has been causing Utah Tech some havoc as of late. Trailblazers just one of their last 9 from the floor as we get back to action. Slashing inside is Holtz. Potter in front of the basket, and a reach-in foul. Consecutive fouls against the Sun Devils. That'll go against Mo Odom. And it's the first on the Sun Devils, the 5th on ASU overall. Look at Odom, who might be the best pure point guard Bobby Hurley has had here in Tempe. And I know Sun Devil fans are saying, whoa, you forget about Remy Martin, you forget about Trey Holder. But in terms of the intangibles, simply passing the basketball off, being a leader, Odom's right there near the top, if not at the top.
I would have to agree. Nothing against the other guys. Mo Odom is just doing his thing, leading the team, just the type of point guard that Hurley wants to have running his show.
Number 3 in active assists, college basketball, over 525 on his career and counting. His 100th game. He's a Centurion now.
Wow.
At college basketball.
I remember you saying earlier you wanted to say that, man. That's so impressive to say, especially now in college. Guys are here, man, just for a minute. A guy playing 100 games in his college career is an awesome achievement.
It's his second in the maroon and gold. Turnaround layup wouldn't go for Davis, and it goes off of Ethan Potter. It'll be Arizona State ball.
Great hands by Pig Johnson to get in there and scrap and hit the ball off of Potter's leg to get out of bounds and cause that turnover.
Pig is a pest.
Yes, he is. He's all over the place. You think you might see him on one side of the floor, you turn your head, next thing you know, he's right there putting pressure on the ball.
He had an awesome soundbite moment after the Southern Utah game. He said, look, whenever I get in, however long that is, I'm going to give him dog minutes. And that's exactly what he does, man.
Oh, I love that. Coach Sendek used to call guys like that sewer rats. That was his thing, man. Mangy, rotten sewer rats.
There's Mo Odom with a little sizzle from downtown.
Good to see him get one in right now. He's 3 for 5 last game, so probably expect some more from him.
It's his first field goal of the ball game. A 13-2 extended run for ASU over the last 5.5. A chance Trujillo. Trujillo's been a bright spot for the Trailblazers thus far. He's got 5. And just Jushan Holtz, who leads the way for Utah Tech with 6 thus far. Here's Jop. And back to Best. Now Odom. Inside Jop, and that's just too easy. How about the hands?
The touch pass from Odom, just a quick go right to Masamba, and then Masamba keeping it, catch high, keeping it high, and finishing at the rim. Incredible. Great skill from the big fella.
Potter tried a lob pass, an offensive foul against Trujillo.
And guess who it was? Pig Johnson. Right there, putting his body on the line, creating extra plays, and just doing them dog minutes for his team.
Take a look at this last play. This is just a symphony in motion.
Boom, boom. It's like hot potato. Incredible job by the Sun Devils there, sharing the ball. Masamba finishing at the rim with that touch.
4.5 to go first half. Best. Drops it off to Mukeba. He'll take the long 2, and a big-time jumper for Alan Mukeba.
It's so smooth. Didn't look awkward. He trusted it and hit nothing but the bottom of the net.
Two teams offensively have gone in polar opposite directions. ASU started slow shooting the ball. They're now 7 of their last 9. Utah Tech just 2 of their last 12.
It's that intensity on the defensive end, I think. My partner, Sun Devils, have stepped it up. They're in passing lanes. They're pressuring the ball. And they're only giving one shot. They're not giving up too many offensive rebounds.
Again, balanced scoring for ASU, but led by Masamba Jop, who's got 10 points in 11 minutes. Here's Holtz, little shake and bake. Trujillo, wide open 3. Off back iron, and there's that 7'4" wingspan.
Just saw the ball floating in the air for a second, then all of a sudden you didn't.
Threw it, couldn't quite finish. It was a beauty of a lob from Pig Johnson, but it's an empty trip. Belonga on the other end. No good over Jop. Physical board, and guess who? It's Pig Johnson again. Bounce pass deflected. Good hands that time by Jashawn Holtz.
Definitely. Great hands on the defensive end in transition. I would have loved to see somebody diving on the floor for a loose ball.
Potter was cherry picking on the other end, gets the bucket to go just past Job, who was trying to block that off the backboard. Timeout on the floor. Arizona State getting up and down the floor. They're playing the style they want to play. They lead by double digits. Want to score some Big 12 football championship tickets and VIP halftime access? Well, here's how. Every time you pay with one of Venmo's Big 12 school branded Venmo debit cards, you're automatically entered for a chance to win. Just swipe, tap, or pay like you always do for your shot at exclusive prizes. Check out VenmoBig12Sweeps.com for more details. Terms apply. Select Big 12 schools available. Braden Bell, Jeff Ayers bringing you the action. Arizona State up by 10 over Utah Tech in the first half. Sun Devils have been doing it really all around, and young fans loving the action as well.
Love to see the baby Sun Devils here on a beautiful Sunday.
It's that time of year where there's no better place to be in the country than right here in the Valley.
Oh, man.
Be outside.
Everybody always thinks about us. They think it's 115 here every day, all year. This is the time of the year, man, when the weather just starts being perfect.
You dusting off those golf clubs at all?
Yes, I actually played in a celebrity golf tournament last week.
I am with the celebrity as Pig Johnson cashes home a layup. Good to see Pig, his first field goal to go.
And him being Pig, just attacking the basket, being a rim threat. A little aggressive on the dig, but like I said, he's everywhere, everywhere.
First foul on Johnson. Here's a look at that last. Take to the 10.
Now look, just being aggressive right off the handoff, attacking the feet, going right to the rim. Not afraid of contact at all is Pig Johnson.
Again, a transfer from the NAIA level, Cumberland's University in Kentucky. Averaged 24 a game, and you can see why. There's the spin cycle. A break to Jop, and the Thunder.
Way to just run the floor. Good spin move by Pig Johnson, getting his eyes up. Jop running the floor, and big time finish.
Lightning and Thunder on the break. And a turnover will send it back to ASU.
This is part of that momentum shift. Create chaos on the defensive end. Hey, look, job with the great hands on defense. Pig pushing it on the break. No look pass. Reward the big fella for the deflection and running that court.
I know you're a video game guy. You press circle right there on that spin move.
Oh, he put circle and held the turbo button for a cool.
Big time. Jop again in the post. Oh, a little turnaround hook shot. That's a blast from the past and a rare miss for Jop. He's now 5 of 7 for the floor, by the way. He's got 12 points.
Honestly, I'll take that. I love seeing him shoot a hook shot. A lot of bigs these days, you see him just start shooting fadeaways. And he's got the skill for it, but he went to the classic big man move to the hook. He'll knock the next one down.
I don't know how much you subscribe to the plus-minus analytics, but against Southern Utah, when he was on the floor, Jop was a plus 27. In this game so far, team high plus 16. He's just a difference maker. Here's Trujillo. Elevates so high on that jumper, he missed the shot. Holt spins around inside. Potter will pull the trigger. No. Trujillo again on the glass, and he gets it to go through contacts.
Wow, just scrappy. Multiple efforts on the offensive glass led to a tough contested shot.
Really strong and tough kid in Chance Trujillo. Transferred in from Snow College in JUCO, one of the best programs in the country. Odom no from the mid-range. A big 90 seconds here for Utah Tech to try to reel ASU in before the break.
Great one-on-one defense by Grbovich. Playing against a little smaller, more skilled guard, but just sliding his feet, keeping the offensive in front of him.
Trujillo hoisting again. He hasn't been shy in this first half. That's now 8 shot attempts. Pig Johnson on the other end. Rattled in and out. Both these teams just playing with such high-level enthusiasm and energy so far in this matinee. On a run out for Johnson. Trujillo chasing. Johnson missed it, but a foul is called. Man, he was trying to put Trujillo on a poster with 52.1 to go.
I think he might have took a step just away from him to catch up, try to turn him into a highlight right there.
And it almost worked out. But he'll head to the free throw line yet again.
But again, him causing chaos on the defensive end, getting the tip, led to Mo getting a steal, led to a transition. Now Pig Johnson at the free throw line for 2.
Than Pig Johnson, you're not going to find a more exciting player to watch. If you watched him for an entire game, there is not a moment he's taken off when he's on the floor.
No, almost feel like he doesn't even take a break in the timeouts. The guy's intense until 0-0's on the clock. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe. This might just be his life. He's just like this all the time.
Jop and Grbovich will sit down for the final 52.1 in this first half. Okeba and Adams Jr. return. You know, the thing about Pig Johnson as well is, I don't know how much you take into account exhibitions as he'll sit down here, but he's shown the ability to score even at this level. He had 27 points in just 26 minutes against Texas A&M, then he had 17 in the opener. So he can score at any level, right?
Yes, and honestly, just to have a multi-dimensional player like that in your pocket is such a blessing to have. You know, he's going to bring you offense, he can definitely bring you intensity on defense, and he's going to be a good leader for the rest of the team.
Game high 14-point advantage for Arizona State. 7 to shoot for Utah Tech. Holtz, mid-range 2. Off the rafters and in. Arizona State can hold for the final shot of the first half here. 45% from the floor. Only 3 turnovers for this Sun Devil squad. Last tune-up before they get Gonzaga on Friday night in this building. 5 to play in the first half. Odom puts the ball in the deck, the floater. He ran into Okeba and hit it anyways. Could have been an and one on your own guy.
Allen set the screen on the wrong guy. Just big fella being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But
blue, it's Jop. Swing pass over to the corner to Grbovich, who struggled from the floor in that first half. He was 0 of 4. Here's Truitt. Kick out to the corner. Bryce Ford. Short corner jumper was partially blocked by Trujillo. 5 to shoot for ASU. Truitt spins around, steps through, and draws the foul with 1.9 of the shot clock.
And great defense by Utah Tech, but just to see that at the end there, a little touch foul. Just got to stay solid on defense. Keep your hands up. Truitt had nowhere to go. Slight bailout. Maybe it was on the ref. Maybe it was the player. Can't leave it up for them to decide.
You would have been complaining about that call.
Oh, man, I might have got a tag.
28 seconds of good defense, and it's a whistle that draws Truitt to the free throw line. He's now got 5 points on the afternoon, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. You know, Truitt, a guy that we talked about on opening night out of Buenos Aires, Argentina, was on the national team, played high school basketball in Florida, started his college career in San Diego, now in Arizona. He's well-traveled, is the point.
Definitely. He's definitely seen some things at many different levels of the basketball game.
Stretched out to a 16-point advantage for Arizona State. See if they can run away and hide from Utah Tech to start off this second half. Belonga will pop the 3. That's a good start for the Trailblazers.
Now, we had talked about ASU coming out and wanting to get Utah Tech to call the first time out. Wow, what a great block on the 7'1" player by Porter.
Potter will run the floor back on the other end. Belonga, he's got 5 in a row.
And now you see Mo slowing it down a little bit. They didn't start off the way they wanted it, but they don't want to keep feeding into Utah Tech's transition and momentum, so they're going to slow it down. Great read by the point guard.
Belonga, the transfer from St. Bonaventure. He's got 8 points so far today. Swing pass from Jop to Odom, right in the breadbasket. The 3 was no good, but Gurbovich is able to follow.
Golly, just having 3 guys over 6'11" at the rim for offensive rebound. Somebody's hand is going to tap the ball back in. Holy smokes.
You know, we were curious looking at this rather large starting 5 for Arizona State, but athletically, they've been able to hold their own in the start of this season. The foul will be on the ground, no basket. And so it is the first team foul against Arizona State, but one official said the shot did count, and now they will say it counted.
Little NBA continuation coming down here in the NCAA.
Officiating crew of Tony Padilla, Gregory Nixon, and Brett Smith. And it will be Potter at the free throw line to shoot 1. They got to get him going if they want to make a comeback. It's 5 points overall in this game. Misses the free throw. Mo Odom was impressive in that first half. 4 assists, no turnovers, and that's exactly what he is known for. Taking care of the basketball, distributing at such a high level. Has it at the top of the mountain. Pops the 3 over Trujillo. Missed it short. Utah Tech credit.
Yeah, no, they're great defense. Even though it felt like a dead possession by the Sun Devils, it was great effort on defensive end by Utah Tech.
Trujillo, another 3. Cold skies for the board. Wow. Belonga missed, but so far the juice for Utah Tech has stood out. Goes into our scorers table. It's out of bounds.
Oh, you're good.
You had someone on the first row, Jeff. Try to catch that ball for him.
Yeah, hey, no, he got a hand on it. Almost probably would have broke my nose, but shout out to the sidelines.
Got to keep your head on a swivel here.
At all times, man. All times, baby.
Bryce Ford. Hand down, man down.
Much needed scoring on the 7 level for the Sun Devils.
That lefty shooting stroke, so pretty to watch. Trujillo answers right back. Double digits now for Trujillo.
Now, this is the thing. Even though the Sun Devils had just scored that 3, you got to be able to get back in transition and talk and match up. You can't trade 3s. You want to try and build on this lead. You want to just keep going back and forth with a team.
Odom tried to throw a lob to Truitt. Again, maybe just a bit unselfish. It'll stay with ASU with 14.
Yeah, they're in the middle of being unselfish and trying to take the right shots, but they're passing them up. You just got to take what the defense is giving you and just let it go. Don't think so much and just let the game come to you. They feel like they're a little off right now.
How much does that have to do with the fact that, as we've talked about so many times, there's just so many new faces?
Yes. I think you got to get the chemistry going, and you got to be in these different situations so you can learn how to handle them the next time they come up. You know, a lot of these things that these players are dealing with, this is their first time going through it as a team. So there's definitely going to be some growing pains this early in the season.
5 to shoot for Odom. Jop was tripped, and a foul will be called again late in the shot clock, and another frustrating defensive possession. You know, trying to defend a team like ASU, and you get late in the shot clock, bail them out with a foul.
And especially plays that aren't on the ball. You know, if it was on defense or you're going for a rebound or something like that, you can live with that. But things that are just away from the ball at the end of the shot clock, those crush defense.
That one's went against Owana. There's Ford. Down low into the post to Truitt. Off window. That's a pretty move for Santiago Truitt.
Love to see the hook shot. Didn't want to shoot a fadeaway. Knew he was the bigger, had the smaller defender on him, and just shot over him with that nice right-handed hook.
ASU led this game by 14 at the break, and although it seems Utah Tech has come out with a little extra juice, ASU's maintained that lead almost identically. And a travel will be called on Owana.
The way Utah Tech has responded, though, in the second half is something you would expect from a veteran coach that they've had. His leadership, his style, he's going to get his guys ready. He's seen so many different situations. He's got them pumped up and ready to come back out and fight in the second half.
These quote-unquote bye games for Utah Tech. They only have one more of them. They'll play number 23 Creighton right before Christmas. Matchup with Arizona a couple of days ago, ASU and Creighton. And you know mid-major programs like this, they're going to play up when they have the opportunity to play against the big boys.
Every time, because they're going to want to have something to prove at the end of the season if they have some type of tournament hopes. But they also know that these bigger division teams look down on some of these smaller teams, and they're always going to have a chip on their shoulder with something to prove when they come into these places like this.
Trujillo, he's a chucker, man. He missed that one from the top of the key, and rebounds pulled down by Mukeba. Odom running the show. A lot of airspace. Off back iron. Bolanga. Extra fat pass to Owana. Those threes on both sides, and here comes ASU pushing the pace. Odom. Trying to kick it out.
You got to have everybody running in transition. You can't have your point guard really pushing the break and trying to probe the defense, but he has no outlets, nobody to pass it to him when he gets down there.
Pio couldn't hit. Potter follows, and he's fouled, and it will take us to a timeout on the floor. ASU with a lot of enthusiasm to start off this game in a bit of a rut offensively, but they still lead by double digits. ASU leads by 13. 15:10 to go in the second half of play. And we've got a busy week of upcoming games on the ESPN family of networks here at Arizona State. It all starts on Thursday with the number 8 Arizona State volleyball squad taking on Arizona. Of course, that rivalry always hot. Doesn't matter the sport. We'll be back to the hardwood Friday night, late tip, 9 p.m. local time against number 21 Gonzaga. You can see that on ESPN2. And Jeff and I will be back on Sunday for the Georgia State's Arizona State ball game. You know, Jeff, Utah Tech, give them credit, outscoring ASU to start off this second half. And the mark of their fight was something we heard talked about a lot after they played Arizona. They've showed that off again here today.
Definitely. They're going to have some grit. They've shown that they can do it, and they've come out here and got back on their plan. They're executing offense, getting cuts, sharing the ball, and being a threat at the rim, kind of pushing Arizona State back on their heels a little bit. They came out swinging first.
First free throw knocked down by Ethan Potter. He's got 6 points and 8 rebounds so far in this game. And first look at the curtain of distraction. I believe that's supposed to be a trailblazer. Not quite sure.
I need a scouting report from the curtain guys. Let us know what
It'd be
they're
nice if they
working
gave us a rundown.
Yeah.
Mukeba. Good ball movement. Adams Jr. way off the mark. Gets his own rebound, though. He'll try it again. Hit it on the second time.
I love that. Sometimes as a shooter, that first one goes up and it's not the miss that you want. You start second guessing. You see he got the rebound and got it back to Pick Johnson, but he got right there and ready to shoot it again and knocked it down.
Potter will head back to the free throw line on the other end. Yeah, to your point about Marcus Adams Jr., he didn't even have time to think about the miss. He had the ball back in his hands already.
Yep, that's what shows you the confidence his teammates have in his ability as a shooter. They didn't look at him crazy for airballing it. They just, hey, we know you got the next one, and here it is 3 seconds later, knock it down.
The guy that is returning from an injury, still trying to get his conditioning under him a little bit, so he's on minutes restrictions, but he's a guy that can really fill it up. Last year at Cal State Northridge, he was averaging 16 per game, all Big West. So he'll come out of the game on a near line shift. 4 different Sun Devils check back in. One more for Potter. Gets it to go. You know, Ethan Potter, proof that sometimes transferring from the lead team in your conference, Utah Tech, or Utah Valley, I should say, who won the WAC last year, he transfers to Utah Tech, and boy, he's really found a spot he seems to have a lot of success in.
Definitely. It's credit to his coach. Coach Judkins put him in a position to be successful.
That relationship has blossomed through just 3 games thus far. Well, pressure shown by the Trailblazers here defensively. Odom matched up with Jashawn Holtz. Break down on the dribble. Get inside. Had it blocked away by Holtz. Jop gets it back. Late in the shot clock, no. Truitt looked to follow with a tip, and it's an empty trip. Still a 13-point advantage for the Sun Devils, and now a turnover. It's a 12th giveaway for Utah Tech.
Man, that's tough to see. Especially that's their bread and butter, cutting off ball, especially in transition. Trio was trusting his partner to be in the corner, went for the back cut instead, led to an untimely turnover for Utah Tech.
You know, bear with me here. Pick Johnson and Chance Trujillo, a similar style of play. They're just everywhere for both teams.
And they're going to do all the dirty work. They're going to do the work that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, too.
What are we calling it? Dog minutes.
Dog minutes.
Here's Gerbovich. He's going to keep on shooting, and that's a pure form, and he raises both hands into the heavens.
Man, sometimes that's just all you need, just to see one go in, man. And 6'11", didn't drop the ball down, just shot right over the defender, nothing but net.
Picture perfect form as well. You're going to trust that shot to drop.
Every time.
Ball in a blender for the Blazers. Corner 3, no, and Gerbovich will pull down the rebound.
Great contest by Truitt right there, too. He might have got a hand on the ball.
There's Truitt in the corner. Owana defending. Spinning around baseline side. Odom, swing pass to the corner. And Best stepped on the sideline.
That's tough. You're going to want to see when it's dead on one side like that. The weak side flash to open up where the defense isn't. That's a great way to get the ball moving. A cross-court pass from one side to the other is tough.
Here's the reaction for Gerbovich. You're a former player. What's going through his mind right here?
He said, go in, looks good, looks good. Oh, all right, it is good. You know, feels good, it is good. There we go.
And he needed that.
Yeah, and I know he's already thinking about when he's going to get the next one, man.
His first 3 of the year, and a guy that's expected to be able to shoot it at a pretty efficient clip from downtown for Bobby Hurley and the Sun Devils. 16-point lead, the largest lead of the game for ASU. Here's a turnover. Odom running the break. He'll give back to Adams Jr. And a whistle and a foul. The unselfishness of Mo Odom is off the charts.
Love it. I love that. Marcus did a great job helping on defense, leading to the steal. Mo called for the ball immediately, knew when he wanted to get on the break, and everybody started following, trailing him after, letting Marcus get in a shot a couple attempts at the free throw line.
And you're playing under maybe the best college point guard ever if you're Mo Odom.
Yeah, from the same place. Definitely the type of point guard you want to be learning from. Like you said, one of the best ever in college history. This is a good situation for everybody.
Jersey guy, guy from the Bronx. They're playing with that little bit of sizzle, if you will, little spice.
No, this is some good magic to see. Love seeing the head coach and the point guard on the same page and sync. Leaves some magic for everybody else.
Adams Jr. goes 1 of 2 from the stripe. Mukeba will come back in for Arizona State. He'll grab Verbovich. Utah Tech, another long extended drought. They're just one of their last 7 from the floor. They haven't scored in over 2 minutes time. Here's Davis. Now Uribe with 13 to shoot. And back to Owana. Matched up with Jop. Big fella moves on defense. Owana hit the E-break and got it to go.
Man, tough shot. Osama Jop made him earn that, though. Didn't give up a layup. Didn't give an easy, uncontested 3. Slid and moved his feet. Just made a tough, contested floater over him.
Under 12 to play. Next whistle will take us to a timeout. Here's Jop. Tried to dish it down low to Mukeba. It'll stay with ASU, but a timeout on the floor. 11:46 to play in the ball game. And some tough shot making on both ends. This time from Madiba Owana, the sophomore out of France, trying to keep Utah Tech close in Tempe. A couple of weapons off the bench for Arizona State, and Alan Mukeba and Marcus Adams Jr.'s. The Sun Devils bench so far in this game, outscoring Utah Tech 19-2.
That's great. That's something you want to see carry over from the last game. They had 35 points off the bench. And that's just something that for Coach Hurley is going to keep building confidence in his guys. No matter who's on the floor, whether you're a starter or off the bench, you're going to be able to contribute. 19 points so far. A little over the half of the second half left to go. Good sign for the Sun Devils.
ASU team that has led wire to wire, have not trailed in the game yet this season, albeit that we're only 2 games in. And now a reach-in foul will go against Utah Tech, and that goes against Madiba Owana. Second on Owana. Big Johnson back into the game for ASU. There's Johnson. Corner pocket for Adams Jr. Off the mark come the Trailblazers. Utah Tech at 38% from the floor, 6 of 23 from downtown. Backdoor cut, Davis, two-handed flush.
The bad cut threats are always a problem with Utah Tech. You got to keep your head on a swivel at all times on defense. I know that's something that Coach Shirley and the Sun Devils have been practicing and working on.
Heard about that chatting with the ASU staff before the game. The importance of the backdoor cutting of Utah Tech. Mukeba. Johnson cuts baseline and slashes for 2.
Sun Devils hit him right back with a taste of their own medicine. Everybody ball watching. Alan Mukeba with the ball. Pete Johnson sees that, notices it, cuts to the back door for an easy layup.
Yet another plus attribute we've noticed from Johnson of the other going. He's just so active. His cutting's really solid. Jop with a good contest, but fantastic finish for Aribi.
These guys are skilled. Aribi showing, Potter showing that around the rim, they're not afraid of Jop and his length. They're using the rim as an extra defender to protect their shots from getting blocked.
Johnson. That's the 3. Offensive rebound. It's Jop inside. Plenty of time on the shot clock for ASU. Little follow away. Marcus Adams Jr.
That looked great. That looked like the type of shot he wanted. That was a rhythm shot for him. Took a couple dribbles, got to the spot he wanted. Little 1-2, one-legged step back, knock it down mid-range.
Again, when he finds his rhythm, which isn't expected to happen for maybe a couple more games in the non-conference, but he can be such a weapon, a high-volume scorer that has a pass at the Big 12 level, spent a year at BYU, originally was committed to Kansas. He's a Big 12 player, and he's back in this league.
Yep, and it's just a matter of time before he starts showing everybody, and we seeing why he's a Big 12 player. Right here, taking his time, patience, drill, backing down the smaller defender. Instead of trying to go through him, quick little step back, shoot right over the top, knock it down.
Looked like a guy, number 41, that used to play for the Mavs.
Ooh, hey, whew, that guy. That was unblockable.
Did I just give you PTSD?
Yes.
I did. How about Mukeba, but he's called for the foul.
Ooh. We got a red challenge flag?
Wrong sport on a Sunday.
Oh, it's hey, right day, wrong sport.
That was Tony Padilla who made the call, and Mukeba couldn't believe it. So Owana will head to the line. You want to see whether or not that was a 2 or a 3. Obviously couldn't tell on that angle. Arcing free throw no good for Owana.
They had this phrase back in the day that the guy just said, ball don't lie.
Rasheed Wallace. Yeah. Come on.
She would lie every now and then, but most of the time she's telling the truth.
You could hear that from the top row of the arena.
Yeah.
Rasheed used to yell that.
Great legend in the game right there, Rasheed Wallace.
They did deem that a 3, so one more free throw to come for Owana. Mukeba will check out for ASU, and it's Truitt back in there. Was 1 of 3 from the line. Those are just killers if you're Utah Tech trying to scratch and claw back into this game.
Yeah, especially you haven't been getting that many free throws. So when you get a chance to get to the line, you want to step up and knock them down.
They're just 5 of 10 at the line, to your point. 5 out on the perimeter for ASU. 6 to shoot for Odom. He'll drive, he'll step through. That's a tough shot for Mo Odom.
Man, he definitely was expecting himself to be a little bit more open off that pick and roll, but just his skill set, he took advantage of the defense trying to get back in front of him, right to a little Euro step floater.
That stat line, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, just 1 turnover for Odom.
Remember, partner, you telling me earlier, he's probably one of the highest turnover assist turnover ratios in the NCAA, right?
Among active players, he's top 3.
Wow. Wow, what a tool to have if you're Bobby Hurley, knowing that your point guard is a top 3 assist turnover ratio in the country for active players.
Foul goes against Pig Johnson. Foul's starting to mount up a little bit for ASU. You know, we made it through that entire first half with nobody in the bonus. Doesn't really happen all that much anymore. ASU now just 1 foul away from giving Utah Tech a bonus situation for the rest of the way. First free throw knocked down by Jushan Holt. You know, he's a guy, talk about well-traveled. Started his college career at Alabama, then to Georgia for his sophomore year. Last 2 years at Kennesaw State. So he's been all over the country, branching out west for another stop.
No, it's not that warm in Utah, but you definitely see like one of a little bit warmer weather. That's an incredible journey, man. That many places, it's awesome. I'd love to see players that are just sticking with their game until they find the right place that fits for them.
I'll tell you this, St. George, where Utah Tech is located, talked about golf earlier. Oh, golf there year-round.
Year-round?
It's gorgeous. The Red Rocks, it's like a commercial.
Oh, I love that. I have to check that out.
Yeah. Definitely recommend. 5 to shoot here for the Sun Devils. Odom goes back into his bag offensively. Shake and bake around Bolonga. Offensive rebound. Odom, corner pocket. The point guard's feeling it.
Yeah, that's such incredible. That's one thing. Offensive rebounds, the main thing they usually lead to is 3-point plays. So excellent effort by the Sun Devils, and Mo trusting it, getting his shot up, knocking down a 3 for his teammates.
And just like that, with a snap of a finger, he's up into double digits. ASU by 18 with just over 8 to play. Uribe. Catch with Owana. Air ball jumper. And Odom, who's got the hot hand, brings the ball up the floor. Lobs it down low to Jop. 3 blue jerseys around him, and Masamba Jop will head to the free throw line out of the timeout. We've talked so much about the unselfishness, the ball handling, the passing of Mo Odom. He says, hey, don't forget about my jumper either. In fact, it's a big-time 3. He's got 10 for ASU, who's rolling in Tempe. Get all of ESPN all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Over 47,000 live events, studio shows, ESPN originals, and brand new features. It's a sports fan's dream. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. That's how you're watching us right now. Braden Bell, Jeff Ayers, welcoming you back to Tempe, where the Sun Devils lead Utah Tech 64-46. You know, we were talking before tip-off, Jeff. No disrespect whatsoever to Southern Utah, Utah Tech, but kind of bring your own juice kind of games if you're ASU. They got a big one looming up next, though. Gonzaga, a powerhouse program, number 23 team in the country, although they've looked better than that so far early out of the year. They'll be here at Desert Financial Arena Friday night. You know that's going to be the kind of game that ASU's had circled for a long time.
Definitely. Every game you're going to kind of have circled because everybody's counted you as underdogs for the whole season. But this is going to be like their first test. And Coach Hurley has his guys usually really ready and prepped for these non-conference big games. They've shown historically that these guys are sleeping. They're going to walk away with a dub.
Last year was such a struggle for ASU through Big 12 play. They were nearly ranked after non-conference play. So you're exactly right. They've been a really good team early on in seasons, of course. Who knows? So many unknowns with this roster this year, but they've shown the ability to be pesky, at least so far this season. See what they can do against the big boys, though, on Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch on ESPN2. Late night.
At 9 p.m. It's close to my bedtime.
Odom probing. Off window, no. Belonga will pull down the rebound. Tech not made a field goal in over 3 minutes. There's Pick Johnson. Those dog minutes. Truitt running the floor. Finger roll for two.
Guys, he's all over the place. I'm telling you, man, you can't turn your head for 1 second without Pick Johnson being right there trying to take the ball from you or score on you.
Like a nightmare for an offensive player.
Yeah, there's some Utah Tech players going to be having some nightmares about him after this.
Odom with good defense on Belonga, who is stumbling. 22-point advantage for ASU. It's a 7-0 run right now over the last 90 seconds. Holt against Jop. Inside. That's a tough reversal.
Great attack. This is a lot of bravery from Utah Tech. They're not afraid of the height. They're not afraid of the length. They know they're not knocking down threes. They got to get to the rim, and they're attacking Jop.
Dushan Holt has shown his ability to score, now double digits in 3 of the 4 games this year. Foul off the ball, and it goes on Tanner Davis.
Yeah, Pick Johnson just all over the place, not even thinking about trying to get back. He sees this guy with the ball, is not guarding it, not thinking about him being behind. Get a tap back, leads to an easy transition bucket for this.
The cross and the give to Jop. Killer cross, thunder at the rim.
Love to see that. Love it.
Wow. Again, it's Johnson, who just has a knack to be in the right place at the right time, making the right decisions. Potter, and he's fouled, is wedged down low, but the foul came before that ball got stuck. Otherwise, it would have been a jump ball.
You know, we talked about earlier in the broadcast, talking about wanted to see Jop a little more patience and impactful on defense. I think he's so anxious to try and block everything that it's kind of taking him out of position, not only for block shots, but also rebounds. He's got to kind of stay on his feet a little more and work on that timing to be a more efficient shot blocker for the Sun Devils.
And that buzzword right there, whenever you hear about great shot blockers, you obviously know it much better than I, but it does have to do with timing.
Yes. Man, honestly, like, I wasn't that great of a shot blocker, but a former Sun Devil that was here, Jordan Paczynski, is elite at it. And I got to see him firsthand how he was and how he did. It's all timing.
Pick Johnson picked up that foul, by the way. That's his 3rd. So Mukeba and Johnson each with 3 for ASU. Here is Mukeba down low. Surprised he didn't get a whistle, but he put it up and in.
Man, it's probably hard to call. It looked like a fly just bounced off of him.
Mukeba was the windshield. Trujillo was the fly there. He's going to spin around. Kick out to Belonga. Out for the loose ball rebound. And a whistle and a foul. Again, will go against Arizona State. You know, we were talking with Connor Smith, the fantastic SID here at Arizona State, and specifically about Alan Mukeba, 6'8" graduate student and transfer from Oakland. You look at him, and I think we said earlier, you said middle linebacker, tight end. He's got that football-style body. But he is just a guy that's naturally that strong.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it last game. You said the strength coach said Allen said he doesn't even touch the weight room. He doesn't even lift. The guy just wakes up looking like a superhero.
Yeah, and I don't buy that. We got quickly told that's not true. He's lifting. I can tell you that. But those resistant bands and things of that nature he really likes. Turnover on the press. Errant 3 was no good, and now a throw ahead to Mukeba. His fingertips over the tiptoe of the baseline. Truitt pops a 3. There's the shooting ability of Santiago Truitt, his first 3 of the day.
There we go, big-to-big connection. Allen wanted that dunk, couldn't get it, but stayed composed. Led to an open 3 for Truitt.
9th 3 of the day for the Sun Devils. It's been very, very balanced in terms of their three-point shooting. As the foul will go against Gerbovich there. Again, it was Trujillo who is a rebounding guard as good of one as you'll ever see.
Yes, it's really impressive. We talked about those dog minutes Pick Johnson is giving, but so is Trujillo. He is doing, even though it's a 23-point game, he is doing everything he can to help his team win by just mucking things up and doing the extra effort plays.
Gerbovich will sit down. Marcus Adams Jr. back in for Arizona State. But when talking about Trujillo, a guy that played for the #1 JUCO team in the country last year at Snow College, which is also located in Utah. Started his career at Weber State. Of course, the alum of Damian Lillard started and played at Weber State. But Trujillo, a guy that you can see just plays with such tenacity.
Yeah, he's not afraid of contact. He's over there out-rebounding bigs. Most guards are afraid of the paint. He's over there looking for contact every single time.
They're averaging 7 rebounds per game so far. Has 5 more today. Check back in Trujillo as the year goes on. See how many rebounds he can average, especially in conference play. Here's Pick Johnson. The patience, but quite get that one to go.
Great patience, great look. Just didn't get to knock down an open shot. And then
takes the charge.
Sacrificing his body, not running back, being down about a miss. Gets back in transition and gets the ball back for his team by sacrificing his body. That's an excellent play by Pick Johnson.
Who said pigs weren't nimble, huh?
Yeah, who said pigs can't fly, man? Look at this guy. Get back in transition, sacrificing his body, drawing the charge. Oh.
Potter, we're back to action. Nearly just put a Sun Devil on a poster, but he missed the dunk. Belonga will take the 3. Pop out and back in again, and a quick timeout taken by John Judkins. 4:28 to go. It's the Devils on top by 18, trying to improve to 2-0. Sun Devils have double figures today, but only one has a double-double. That Santiago Truitt.
No, we were expecting a little bit more out of him today in this game, and he's come through. Definitely making his presence felt on both ends of the floor, knocking down open threes. Teammates are trusting him. He's getting here, getting buckets in the paint, making plays on defense and getting rebounds and extra possessions for his team. Great job, great game today so far by Truitt.
13 and 10 for the San Diego transfer in 25 minutes. He's been efficient, 4 of 7 from the floor, and just another one of those pieces. You know, if ASU is going to be successful this year, if they're going to turn heads, if they're going to surprise people in the conference, this is the kind of game they're going to have. Nobody's going to go give you 20 a night probably, but you get 10 to 12 from 4 or 5 different guys, you're going to win some games.
Yes, and it, you know, it's going to put you in a lot of the games that you might not expect to be in as well, with a chance to win.
It's team over stars for Bobby Hurley's group this year. But wire to wire today. They'll get really challenged in their next game against Gonzaga. Jop. He'll force it up anyways. Didn't get the whistle. Nearly got the rebound from his backside.
Still, arms long enough, he could have almost grabbed the rebound laying down on the ground. Wow.
To have a 7'4" wingspan, huh?
I'm not going to lie, I think I do. I'm just not 7'1".
You're up there.
Yeah, my arms are pretty long, too.
Former San Antonio Spur. Potter spins around and throws it down.
A little gamble in a low post defense by Mo. Could have stayed solid and trusted that Masamba was in the back for his help.
Give Utah Tech credit. Nobody's surprised, but they're fighting all the way through. I'll look back on these games against Arizona and Arizona State and hope they can learn a lot. Jop tried the reverse dunk and he couldn't hit it. Mukeba on the other end with the contest, but the 3 knocked down by Britton Barrett.
Man, that's going to be a learning lesson for the young fella, man. You know, young guys just got back in 10-0 run by Utah Tech. Sun Devils are going to be looking right now to settle this down, get a bucket, so some of this heat and momentum that Utah Tech has.
This game is not over yet. Like you said, the 10-0 run, they've got it down to 13 with 2:54 to go, and it will take us to another timeout on the floor. Blazers trying to rally late. 2:54 to play. Arizona State on top by 13. And despite Utah Tech being on a 10-0 run, Jon Judkins emptying the bench a little bit. See some of the guys that seen today. Boston Harker, Dario Domingos, another. So seems as though Utah Tech, barring something unforeseen, ready to move on to their next ball game despite a late rally. Crazier things have happened, though, as Harker pulls down the board.
Definitely, man. Hey, March Madness isn't only in March.
And Trujillo with a corner three. It's 13 unanswered points for Utah Tech. And another timeout on the floor with 2:37 to go. 32nd timeout. And this was all Sun Devils, Jeff. ASU had their largest lead of the game of 23, not even 3 minutes ago, and now it's down to just 10.
This is what happens when you get outclassed with effort and give up open shots. Anybody can win any game on any day. These are all high-level basketball players. You got to show respect to your opponents at all times. Can't let off the gas until the horn goes off and says 0-0 on the clock. So great credit, high credit to Utah Tech still fighting. Sun Devils got to pick it up. They got to close this game out right, especially, like you said, with Gonzaga at the end of the week and conference play coming up sooner than you think. These are not the type of habits you want to be creating.
Well, when you look at this schedule coming up, the cupcakes, quote unquote, there really aren't any more of them. Gonzaga, of course, a big name, Georgia State, and then ASU goes to Hawaii for one game against the Rainbow Warriors, and then, of course, the Maui Invitational, which is always extremely competitive.
Yeah, they're going to be starting their conference, non-conference schedule soon.
Double team was broken. Truitt throws it up. It's a blocking foul called on Domingos, who can't believe it. And Truitt will head to the free throw line with 2:26 to go.
Maybe a foot in the paint. Oh, like I said, wrong sport. Same day, though. A little red flag. Good effort.
Domingos just came in for the first time. Truitt misses the first free throw. As much good as we've seen from Arizona State, hustle plays, effort, intangibles like that throughout the game, the ending of this one is going to loom large.
Yeah, so you had this whole thing of work. Looked great, could have held your hat on, and now you're starting to get a little sloppy, giving coach a little more film than he probably wanted to be showing in the next couple of days.
There's some nervous energy here. 13-0 run. Domingos in the post against Ja. Lost it. Battles with Odom, and the foul is called on Domingos. So he's been in the game for 90 seconds, and he's picked up a couple of fouls.
Instant impact, whether it's good or bad. He's putting the effort in to make an impact in the game. Make his minutes worth something.
Big fella at 6'7", 260. Sixth year.
So that's a monster on the paint in the block, man. You gotta. There's going to be an effort to keep him off the glass. You know, we see the lineup change coming now, but that's an effort by that squad, that unit right there that Coach Judkins had put in the game. Let's see if these starters, these new guys can come back in and capitalize on that momentum that those bench players just gave them.
A full-on line change, and like you said, the starters back in for Utah Tech. And they've got the time to try to pull a stunner. First free throw good by Odom, and that's a big one as the Sun Devils struggled from the line in this half. As Truitt will head to the bench, and that's not a good sign, him holding that left wrist. 2 of 2 for Odom.
It's always tough, man. You got to be careful with those charge takers. You know, you get in the air, man, it's hard to land. You don't want to put your wrist down. Well, hopefully it'll be all right, get that checked out and looked after. But
so one good thing about ASU not playing again until Friday.
Yeah, plenty of time to recover. Probably not the best thing that they're going to think about player-wise. You're going to have a lot of practice to go over some of these mistakes and adjustments they're going to have to make to get ready, but it's a part of the game.
Trujillo a three. Would have been huge, but he missed everything. Full court press for Utah Tech. Johnson spinning mid-air adjustment. They'll get it across the timeline, and he will. They'll find his point guard, Odom. Minute 40 to go in regulation. Arizona State's led this game by as many as 23. It got a little hairy late for the Sun Devils. They're trying to take the air out of the ball in this possession. Odom, Job, and an
There we
exclamation point.
Way to make up for that earlier mishap and made sure he finished the right way. Oh, Pick Johnson almost getting up another possession for the Sun Devils on the inbounds.
18 for Masamba Job. And a rebound for Bryce Ford. Odom will dribble this into the front court. Sands ticking away for Utah Tech as Odom gets the floater to go.
Great patience, probing what the defense was going to give him in transition, and just took a nice little easy floater right underneath the free throw line.
And a 6-0 run over the last minute has given ASU enough space to where now they know they're going to win this game.
Yeah, definitely. Now they can slow down a little bit, but they're going to finish the game still strong. Don't want to play with fouls. You still want to try and build momentum for this game coming on Friday. So these habits will carry over. So even though the game, they probably got it locked, you still want to start thinking about how to create the right habits to win the next game.
Just saw the line change coming on for Utah Tech as John Judkins maybe went to those bench pieces a little too early. Had to pull them back. Now they get a run for the final 57.1.
Hey, they earned it. They came out there, didn't play that much before, but they earned those minutes, bringing the game closer. And shout out to Coach Judkins letting these guys finish the game out after they earned that.
Odom will jog this up the floor. 14, 5 rebounds, 6 assists for Mo Odom. Game high 34 minutes. So much buzz around so many different pieces for Arizona State, but the conversation has to start with number 5 and what he means to this team. Late in the shot clock, Odom darts inside. Johnson will wrap around. 4 to shoot. Short corner 2, no. A whistle and a foul will go against Arizona State. Goes against Mukeba. 26.2 to go.
It's probably a little difficult to referee somebody like that, man. He's so strong, be able to get position. Easy for him to just move people out the way as he's trying to go get offensive rebounds.
See Bobby Hurley now make a few changes to his lineup. See Quentin McCoy enter the game for the first time. McCoy out of Chicago. And Cash Polk as well. So benches emptied on both sides for the final 26 seconds of this one. How about Job today as he exits 18 and 1 minutes for Job.
Pretty efficient. I said, well, still want to see a little bit from him on the defensive end, affecting shots, getting some blocks, get those rebound numbers up. But excellent second game of the season for Job. Excited to see his continued growth the rest of the season.
Final 10 seconds. Domingos fouled with 7.9 to go. And the big fella will shoot a couple of free throws before this one is put to rest.
Maybe one final rep for the curtain over there. Get ready for their the rest of the season. Get their acts together.
Non-conference for the curtain of distraction as well.
Yes.
You know, Utah Tech has gotten to the line a bunch in this second half. This will be their 20th free throw of the half. And remember, they only took 2 in the entire first half. So they really have done a good job of getting to the line. Another thing for ASU to try to clean up moving forward. But Arizona State, so far this season, they have yet to trail. They start the campaign out with so many new faces, and they win their first 2 games of the year. 81-66 the final score. Balanced scoring for the Sun Devils.